Good evening, everyone. I'm going to start the session. I'm very excited to be here to introduce the next edition of the Ideathon. I'll be giving a brief overview of the program to date, and then after that, we'll be hearing from two of our previous winners before I move into the final section where I explain this year's competition. So just a huge shout out to the team that's made this happen. There's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes, including our support from auxiliary programs such as sponsorship. And yes, we're very excited today to be welcoming you. The Indaba, which is an initiative, the Ideathon is an initiative of the Deep Learning Indaba, and it was launched in 2022 with the explicit goal of fostering connections and collaborations across the African continent. It provides a unique platform for participants to develop and propose innovative research or application-based ideas. This is really a unique opportunity for you to come together from across the continent, share your ideas, share your expertise, join a team, and most importantly, have fun. The entire process is supported by both mentorship and funding opportunities. So just to give a bit of a walk through the program before today, we started in 2022, where we had the first round had 14 proposals with 19 African countries represented, and a variety of topics, everything from healthcare to NLP, climate change, community development, fintech, and food self-sufficiently. In this first round, we were very generously supported by the Google Cure program, which is the Compute for Underrepresented Researchers. In 2023, we had 15 proposals, and at least 12 African countries were represented with, again, varying topics from healthcare to fish weighing and malaria detection. And once again, we were generously supported by our partners at the Compute for Underrepresented Researchers program from Google. Last year, we decided to change things up. In previous years, the entire Ideathon would happen within this week, but we felt that the teams might benefit from a longer time to develop their ideas, deepen those collaborations, and really put in time in the support from mentors to develop a 15-minute pitch. We then, this was also explicitly to encourage submissions from the research track, because the Ideathon is not just about applications. We also welcome your research and would love to see more research proposals this year again. The team submitted 15-minute video submissions, and those that continued had a live Q&A session with some judges. So with the extra time, you can see that our number of proposals catapulted to 28 proposals with 5 research submissions, and this is more than double than what we've had in the past. We eventually selected 7 winners, 5 with application-based projects, and 2 research, and we'll be hearing from 2 of our teams today. And this year, last year, we were also able to grow the program with multiple sponsors. And I apologize for the typo. This is 2024 winners. Okay, I'm going to take a step back at this time. And I'd like to welcome our first team to the stage, which is AfriClimate AI, or AfriNet. And we will be hearing from them about their journey.
Okay. Welcome everyone to the Ideathon presentations. This is Aya Salema. I'm part of the AfriNet team, one of the winners of the Ideathon 2024. I'm going to be presenting my team, AfriNet. Before we delve into our solution, I would like to highlight the organization that we belong to, which is AfriClimate AI. AfriClimate AI serendipitously was started at the Indaba 2 years ago. It is now an NGO with 200 members from all over Africa, and with a mission to do some capacity building in Africa and in fundamental research in AI and climate science. The AfriClimate AI community is supporting AfriNet. To delve into a bit more detail about AfriClimate very quickly, Sabrina will come to share more.
Okay, so hey everyone, apologies for the change of lane. Actually, these are the old slides and we restructured them, but I'm gonna talk a bit more about AfriClimate, but we wanted to have the spotlight on AfriNet. So AfriNet is a spin-off of AfriClimate, which is the NGO that if you don't know about it yet, maybe we can talk later. And we have a few initiatives, some around capacity building with our workshop on Thursday and a few other initiatives. We have fine-tuning project, Forecast for Africa, we announced yesterday. And one of them is AfriNet. And it started as a crazy idea last year, which was just, can we deploy our own weather stations? And apparently the Ideathon team and the jury liked that. So we're here to tell you about it. And okay, so do you want to take over? Otherwise I'll keep talking.
Okay, so back to the AfriNet problem. What is the problem that we're trying to solve with this solution? So the map you're seeing now highlights the problem that we're trying to solve. As you can see, Africa has a significant scarcity in weather station coverage, which means that we are very limited in what we can do in the weather and climate space. And this is the fundamental problem that we're trying to solve with AfriNet. Pap Malik will talk a bit more about the actual solution that we're building.
At AfriNet, our vision is bold. We're building a community of weather stations across Africa, and these stations are accessible, collect real-time weather data and local weather data accessible through a weather API, an open source open API, and an easy interactive dashboard. Okay, our weather stations also are low cost and low maintenance, and they are collecting variables like temperature, humidity, wind speed, and other metrics. Here we have some coverage of AfriNet weather stations, and this is only the beginning. We are also planning to cover more and more countries. Here we can see some coverage of AfriNet, and together they represent a group of weather stations across Africa. And our weather data also is open source on AfriWiki, a knowledge hub for climate resilience and resources. And last year was just an idea, and now this is happening. And since that, we also start to doing some research on our data set.
Thank you, and I want to just take the opportunity. Pap Malik has just done his very, very first presentation in English with us today, so if we can just encourage him. Okay, so we deployed a bunch of stations and we were able to collect data, and the first thing we thought about doing is, of course, research. So we wanted to compare our observed data to satellite products, which is what's usually used when you want to do temperature checks, rainfall checks over Africa. And we considered few products. The most famous and reliable is iMerge, and then Chirps and ERA5. And basically, with the few stations we have deployed, you can see, for example, the overlay of the ground. Can it? No? Okay. So you can see the ground observation data in dark color, and then the satellite products around it. And we've done that for the station in South Africa, who's maintained by Rendani. I saw you. Where are you? Okay, he's there. We have maintainers from the community, which is a very important point. And the second one is actually a station from Algeria, which I'm supposed to be the maintainer of, but I'm not there often, so let's see. And here, what's really interesting is you can see whether they align or not. So basically, when they align, we tend to say that the satellite product is rather good. When they don't, so it's either that maybe the satellite product is not very accurate, maybe our station is not good, but it gives us the very first chance to do this exercise in regions where we don't necessarily have access. So last year we came and we wanted to do some homework and exercise, and we didn't have data. And this year we're proudly using this data on our workshop on Thursday, AfriClimate. Please be there. Yes, I'm doing a bit of marketing, sorry. And there, we can do really cool stuff, like we check the probability, like how often they agree between each product, satellite product, and the observation data. We're basically preparing also to synthesize this, and we can have some conclusions on it. For example, which is not a surprise in the climate community, iMerge stands out as the best satellite product, which is the most relied on in Africa, and we've done a little exercise of confirming that. And we've also looked at temperature, which usually is way more reliable with satellite product because you can simulate, like infer temperature easier than precipitation. And you can see, for example, in South Africa, where there is a nice agreement. Of course, they're not going to be identical because satellite takes pictures, right? And in Algeria, it's really interesting. And here, we're not saying it doesn't agree because, you know, satellite don't work in the north or anything. But it's just interesting to see that they disagree on a temperature. So it could be a problem with our sensor. It could be something else. We don't know. But it gives us the possibility to ask these questions and then spend a bit of time investigating them. Okay, so not boring you with the details. Like, if you're interested in any part of this, what we've done is basically extend a lot this exercise in a tutorial on Thursday in the afternoon, and we together generate these plots and then play a bit with the data. There's also some AI. So, in conclusion, from idea to 8 stations, and we're very grateful to the Ideathon team. Thank you, Siobhan. Thank you, all the team. And also the budget we've got, because the budget will allow us to deploy around 20, 25 more stations. And we're like going to decide, of course, where to put those. There was some work on the dashboard. I think Asma was there, but maybe not here today. She did amazing work on the dashboard. And also, we're preparing a small paper to synthesize all this observation satellite and what we can do with it. And of course, working with AfriClimate, AfriWiki, with Amal, and we just want this data to be accessible to everyone, and so we can all play with it, ask questions, and this is our goal, really. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you very much. Oh yeah, this is the team.
Thank you so much. So this was our, one of our winning teams from the applications-based project, but I'm excited to see that there's some research thrown in there as well. So keep up the good work, and looking forward to keeping in touch and seeing how it goes. I'll just leave this QR code up for a second if anyone would like to take note of it and contribute to this amazing project. Okay, at this time, I'd like to welcome one of our research-based project winners to the stage. And this team has been working on transparent decision-making for electric vehicle routing, integrating DRL, GNN, and XAI. Please welcome Demet to the stage.
Hello, everyone. I'm super happy to be here presenting in front of you. I participated in last year's Ideathon in the Indaba 2024. So, as someone who loves to do research, I've always wanted to do research with different people from different countries, especially in Africa. But I never had the chance, or I didn't know where to start or what to do. So, I was very happy that Indaba did this framework, the Ideathon, where I got the chance to gather with people from different countries, and we discussed together our ideas and our dreams, and we are finally here today to present to you our work. So I will let my colleague explain to you our idea.
So hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be part again of Ideathon Indaba 2025 as one of the winners of last year Ideathon. So our idea is a research paper about transparent decision making for electric vehicle routing, integrating deep reinforcement learning, GNN, and explainable AI. So together with my colleague Eli, Dimeth, Jeremy, Mame, and Suleiman, we want to conduct a comparative study of different models using reinforcement learning, GNN, and explainable AI technique combined together to address these routing challenges. So reinforcement learning has emerged as a powerful approach to solving complex, sequential, and decision-making problems. So each decision an RL agent makes affect the next decision and so on. A famous example that illustrates the potential of reinforcement learning is AlphaGo, the AI that famously defeated the world champion Go player Lee Sedol. So as we know, AlphaGo excelled at this because Go, like many real-world problems, is about making decisions over time, considering not just the immediate consequence, but also the long-term impact. So, however, during AlphaGo's second challenge against Lee Sedol, AlphaGo made it now legendary of 37th move. So, a decision that surprised both commentators and Lee Sedol. It was a creative and predictable move that shifted the game in AlphaGo's favor. This brings us to critical issues. As effective as reinforcement learning models can be, they often function like black boxes, making decisions that are not easily interpretable to human users. David Silver, which is DeepMind's researcher, reportedly had no insight into why AlphaGo made such a creative move until he had investigated the actual calculation made by the program. So now imagine this kind of AI being used by non-experts in everyday application without an ability to explain its reasoning. So this lack of interpretability is a major concern, particularly in safety-critical applications like EV routing. So we will move to our contribution with the
So yeah, we wanted to combine reinforcement learning and understand reinforcement learning decision-making with explainable AI. So we chose to apply these technologies to electric vehicle routing problem, which is a combinatorial optimization problem. The purpose is to optimize the total distance traveled, to visit all the nodes, all the customers in their time windows, minimize the visits to the charging stations because we have electric vehicles, so we need to charge on the way. And we want to minimize the number of electric vehicles if possible. So to do this, we did some gap in research because our idea for the Ideathon was a research paper. So we had to verify the literature review. And we noticed that there's a gap in the interpretability in VRP and XAI. Also, there's a lack in comparative analysis with different models when applied to VRP. And the application of reinforcement learning with graph neural networks for an enhanced representation of the problem, together coupled with explainable AI, there's a gap in this research. And the combination of these three technologies, of course, especially when using real-world data set. So with these four gaps combined, we decided to work on this. Our methodology is to combine these three technologies. We want to compare different reinforcement learning models, evaluate how well each model of the VRP performs, and interpret how well explainability can perform with these technologies. And so our research idea can be summarized into three contributions. First of all, we will develop different reinforcement learning models with graph neural networks to solve the EVRP. And then the second contribution is to compare these models we developed. And the third contribution is to add explainability with these models, try to optimize these models based on the results of the explainability, and show these discussions and analysis into one research paper. So yeah, our team is composed of 6 people. We started last year in the Ideathon. I proposed the idea into a Slack channel, and luckily I met five amazing people who liked the idea, and they asked if they can join, and of course I agreed. I can never be more than happy, and so we joined together. We are from Tunisia, Democratic Republic of the Congo, and Senegal. We have different backgrounds as well, PhD people, engineers, students, and master's students. So we split the roles and the tasks between us based on our backgrounds. And yeah, so here we developed a plan of the idea. First of all, we started with the research, literature review, data preparation, model development, and explainability integration. We are currently on the model development phase. So right now we developed a PPU model with the graph neural networks and another DQN model with graph neural networks. Then we moved to the explainability part. We added SHAP values to the DQN model coupled with structure-to-vect, which is graph neural network model. I didn't put the results here because it's still under progress. But yeah, we are almost there. So our organization, we did a Google Drive to share resources, Trello board to track the progress, and we have our WhatsApp group for communication. So I'm very happy again with this opportunity, and thank you, Indaba, for making this happen. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's great to see all the work that you've been doing. I'd just like to welcome the AfriNet team back to the stage so that we can take some questions. Okay, I'll open the floor for questions in a moment. I'd just like to pose 2 questions to each team. If one candidate from each team, if you could just come back and maybe you could just explain your experience at the Indaba last year, how you came together as a team, and how you found each other and kind of found common ground and how you can work together.
So we came as a team thanks to, there was a Slack channel of the Ideathon. So I wanted to do research, but I didn't know at first that Ideathon can encourage for research ideas. I thought it would be maybe a startup or a project. So when I suggested that I wanted to do research, there was a lot of people who agreed to this. And so I put on the Slack channel, and everyone replied to that post on the Slack channel, and they agreed. Actually, Eli with us on the team, and Mami, Suleiman, and Jeremy, actually, I didn't meet them last year in the Indaba, but thanks to the channel after the Indaba, we managed to communicate, and we got to know each other, and we did meetings almost every week, and we got to know each other more. Thanks to online communication, and we presented everything together, we shared the work together, and now we became good friends. And luckily, we got to meet again this year in the Indaba. So yeah, that's the story.
Okay, I was actually asking them how we met because I almost forgot. So I think the idea came maybe 1 week before the Indaba, and we wanted to do a tutorial and we didn't find data. So we thought, you know what, we're going to buy stations and just deploy them. And Randani told me, why don't you go to the Ideathon and pitch it? And then I went there and sat down, and I was just saying, guys, we're going to buy weather stations, deploy them, do this and that. And this team believed in it, so they joined. And I remember Amin at the time was our mentor, and he was so seduced by the idea that he joined the team. And we were also able to hire our mentor, Matthew. He also joined the team. So it was just really going there and just making a fool of myself, and then they were like blown away, to quote Aya. And it worked. I don't know if I missed the other part of the question, or was it just, okay, perfect.
Thank you. Okay, then I have another question. So thanks to your presentations, we can see that there's been amazing progress over the year. But the whole idea of the Ideathon is to bring people together from different spaces. So I'm curious how you've managed to stay in touch and motivate each other over the previous year.
Okay, so in our case, it's a bit special because AfriNet is a spin-off of AfriClimate AI. So we had this Slack channel, and we had a sub-channel in it, and we called it AfriNet. And we communicated on it. We went on calls, used Slack extensively, and I think it's the first time we meet again after the year at the Indaba, yeah. So you really just Slack and working together. We tried to have bi-weekly calls, at least before the deadline for the video. That was, you know, sometimes people showed up, sometimes not, but we managed to submit like 3 hours before, which is like what every good engineer does. But it was really amazing, and we had Like Pap Malik joined, he was, I mean, you're still young, but like really different horizons. We have Jacqueline from Kenya, who has a lot of FOMO from missing this Indaba. Asma and Amin from Tunisia, who contributed massively, Amin with his business input and Asma on the dashboard. But we basically try to, as much as possible, keep these bi-weekly calls, even to just keep each other updated. That's also maybe an advice for you.
Yeah, in my case, what motivates me to I'm working in NLP, and the topic was in RL, so I was motivated to learn more about reinforcement learning. It's a new field for me, and just to exchange, because we are from 3 different countries, with each country is own time zone. So it was not easy to schedule a meeting. So each week, each weekend, we have a call, try to learn from each other. So it was really a good opportunity for me to learn and to grow in RL. So it's my case, I think it's okay.
Okay, something that I think also helped us sustain the momentum was the different deliverables that were required from us, from the Ideathon team, as well as being assigned a mentor, Matthew. He did a really good job. He earnestly tried to help us, and he would ping us sometimes when we go quiet. So having this sort of probing helped us maintain the momentum, and whenever the energy went down, we gather again to bring it up. And I think, from my perspective, the main driver was because I think this is a very cool idea. And I think this is the case for all the teams, so I hope we manage to maintain this momentum in the future.
Okay, those are the questions from me. Does anyone in the audience have a question? Yes. Are there any mics available? Thank you. There's one in the front here.
Thank you very much for the presentation. I'm Mahmoud Abdel Qadir from Egypt. My question is for the second team. I wanted to ask you about the model. How is it scalable? This is the first question. And is it working for different vehicles, like car, trucks, and small vehicles that can enter to the countryside area, not urban places, or not?
So for now, we are using synthetic data. Our stage representation is only based on coordinates. Our stage representation doesn't contain the type of the vehicle, so whether it's a truck or a normal or personal car, I think it doesn't matter. We just doing the routing optimization. We use coordinates. We use maybe, so tomorrow I will have a poster in the Indaba X session about this project. I will be presenting our results and the methodology and everything. So maybe you can pass by and we can discuss more in details. I can show you the results. I can show you the stage representation. I can show you the architecture we did. We can have more time to discuss this.
Thank you.
I think
to be honest, I had a poster in the same topic tomorrow, the same topic especially. So we can discuss it during dinner or something like that. Thank you very much.
Okay, any other questions? We've got a question on my right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
So this can be for either team, whichever it is the most relevant for. So comparing your idea when you first conceived of it to while you were actually developing it, were there any points where you hit a major roadblock and you had to pivot the idea in some significant way? Could you maybe describe how you pivoted from the initial idea to where it's currently at?
Okay, so let's start with the AfriNet team. So the first part of the question is about pivoting, right? We haven't pivoted yet. Our first proof of concept is still in progress. So we didn't hit the roadblockers that would cause us to pivot. But as we grow the project, we bump into issues that are making us learn more about the problem. And I guess as we learn more about the problem, we will need to, for example, make accommodations for the different environments that we're deploying our weather stations in. And maybe then, after we do some experimentation, we can bump into roadblocks worthy of pivoting, but so far, this did not happen. One issue that, for example, we bumped into, my weather station is deployed in Cairo, Egypt, and we are a desert environment. So I was the first one on the team to realize that my weather station is collecting dust way too often, and this is affecting the ability of the equipment to work properly. We're still experimenting and studying how bad this is affecting the signals, but this is one example that might cause us to pivot, maybe in terms of equipment, deployment strategy, but yeah, no huge pivots so far.
Okay, we have time for one or two more questions. Right here in the front, please.
Thank you very much for the amazing presentations. I'm Simi. So this is a question for the AfriNet team. I would like to know how you got funding, right, for deploying and maintaining the weather stations.
It's a very good question. Let me become a politician about this one. Our first idea was to have this as a community project. So if you, for example, you believe in that everyone has a right to this weather data and you want to enable the research, enable the forecasting, then you can kind of purchase a station and we provide you with the dashboard access, the team and everything. So some of the team, like we did buy our own stations. We have the support of the Indaba, like there was a part of the prices, a significant budget for scaling in different countries. And again, being a spin-off of AfriClimate, we might have a budget for further deployment, but this can be a little bit outside the scope of AfriNet. So we're really talking about partnerships with med agencies, bigger stations. But we really want to still have this community-driven. And there are different ways for the stations to be deployed. So you can buy a station, your own, it's yours. You just share the data with everyone. With our funding, we can buy it for you, which happened, I think, for some of our stations, like Pape Malik, Jacqueline. So yeah, it's like a diverse. We're trying to converge on one way to do it, but it's really a bit from everywhere. And I think we like it this way because this project is supposed to be a community project, so we don't want to have, funding for all the stations and then we just distribute the station. So yeah.
Okay, there will be an opportunity tomorrow at the networking session during lunch to ask the team some more questions. So I'm going to invite you to please give another round of applause to our amazing teams. Thank you for your work. Okay. At this time, I'm going to continue with the presentation. So we'll go back to the, no worries, the 2020 plans for 2025. Okay, so this will be the fourth Ideathon edition, and we felt that the teams really grew, their ideas really grew, and the strength of the teams was really strong with this longer format. So we'll be doing the same this year. So there'll be lots of notifications following the Indaba as we go through the matching the teams with mentors, the video submission, the live Q&A, and then finally the prizes. So it's great to see so many of you here today, and I just want to, and I know there's many people online as well, so I just want to encourage you that everyone is welcome. There are some requirements for your team, so there's no individuals allowed, but teams are allowed with it, and there's some constraints, but I'll go through that now. And again, we welcome both research and application-based ideas. The only requirements for the project itself is that it has to have a machine learning component. You need a team of at least 2 people, and at least one person needs to have been an in-person attendee at this Indaba. So there are judging criteria at the end of, when you do your final live Q&A with the judges. So really take the time, if you are planning to submit your initial idea, and then really use the following weeks to deepen that idea as you build out your video. There is, while you are allowed teams of 2, there are extra points awarded for diverse teams. So the more diverse your team, the higher you will score there. And then, as I think I remember both teams had slides where they allocated the roles per member. And I think especially as you go home and you have other responsibilities, identifying clear roles for everyone really helps set the tone for how the project will develop. We're really proud to announce our sponsors for 2025. We've got some returning sponsors and some new sponsors. These prizes will range from compute credits to courses, and as well as travel grants for one member from a winning team. So what is happening this week? As I mentioned, we invite all of you tomorrow to join us in the dining hall. Oh, I apologize, this venue has not been updated, but if you're in person here with us in Kigali, please join us in the lunch hall tomorrow. You'll be allowed to queue about 10 minutes before 1, so please arrive early, grab some lunch, and then come join us. We will be there from the team, and we've also invited winners from previous years, so this is really a chance to come meet other participants, ask your questions, gain inspiration from previous winners. Then on Thursday, around this time again, we will have a mentorship session, and this will be your chance to come by yourself. If maybe most of your team's online, that's completely fine, or you haven't found your full team yet, but with your team or yourself, come and you'll have the chance to discuss your project or your idea with different mentors. So you're not meant to have a fully formed idea at this point. The idea is to really just speak through someone, share your ideas, get some feedback, and hopefully use this as a chance to refine them. So we welcome you to join us on Thursday, and please keep an eye on the Slack channel for the sign-up link, which we'll be sharing soon. So if you'd like to join for networking tomorrow, this is the link to the form. If you could just take a second to fill that out, just so we have an idea of how many of you are coming. Okay, the next QR code is for mentorship. So this is the session on Thursday where you'll have the chance to speak with at least 2 different mentors about your idea. Okay, as I mentioned, some of you are joining us from online. So please engage in the Slack channel. Introduce yourself, share a bit about your expertise, your interests, what you're interested in learning. If you have an idea, post that as well and try recruit members. Just a reminder that each team will need at least 1 attendee from this year. And if you have any questions, just pop them in the Slack channel and we'll be happy to answer. Okay, so just to give an idea of the timeline, so I'll share the link to the submission form soon, but this will only be due 1 week after the Indaba, so you have time to go home and just refresh your idea. After that, we will then send selected teams an email that progress to the next round, which is when you are allowed to develop your pitch. So at this stage, you'll be matched with a mentor with the idea of refining your idea, going really deep in developing it, because this is what will be shown to the judges. And then about a month after that, you will have the chance to join an online session with judges who will ask you questions about your project, at which time scores will be given, and we will compile the scores and announce the winning teams. Following this, there is some support from the Ideathon. You're always welcome to reach out to us if there's support, for example, a reference letter or something like that, or anything else you think we could help with. But we also try and match all teams with a long-term mentor to help you develop your project. As AfriNet mentioned, that they benefited quite a lot from their engagement. If there's anyone in the audience that is interested in helping, but maybe not as a participant, we do need help with various sessions. So for example, we need help with mentorship on Thursday. So if you're here in person with us, we'd love to have you join as a mentor. And then there's also the mentorship after the Indaba. We'll put all of this information in the attendee emails to help you sign up. And then a slightly larger commitment, but a really fulfilling one, will be to actually judge the submissions. So if there's any previous winners in the audience, we'd love to have you come back as judges as well. And essentially, you'll be asked to watch the video pitches, come to a live Q&A with some questions prepared to ask the teams. So this is the QR code if you're interested in supporting the Ideathon. Okay. Final form for today. This will be shared many times, so don't worry about capturing it now, but this is the submission form. This initial stage is very lightweight. It's really just to capture your idea and your teams, to understand the composition of your teams. You don't need to have a fully developed idea yet, so we encourage you to take a look at this form as you go through the week and engage in the different activities. And this will be due 1 week after the Indaba. At this time, I'd just like to say thank you for joining, and we really hope to see many of you engage in the program.